I'm sitting here on County Road 414 in Shannon County. We're about a quarter mile east of Highway E. I just parked the Tahoe. My truck's getting a little work done, so I had to borrow a Tahoe today. I just parked the Tahoe and unloaded the four-wheeler, and we'll go about another quarter mile, and we'll be at the property on the left side of the road. A little cloudy right now, but I just looked up and it should be sunny again in about 2-3 minutes. There's the sun already. So we're coming up on the property on the left side of the road, and this is Tract 4 at Elk Ridge. It's got a lot of good road frontage here on the south side. A lot of medium and large trees here on the south side by the county road. It's windy today. Not usually this windy. I hope the sound is okay on the video. I'm gonna go up here and turn around and go back toward the southwest corner and pull off the county road, and I'll do a little walking. I kind of changed my mind there. I didn't turn around. I saw this little natural opening, so I thought I'd pull right in and check this out. Wow, that wind picked up. What an awful day for a video. Cloudy and windy. Good job, Zach. I hope that wind settles down a little bit. I don't want a bunch of wind noise on this. So we're about 100 feet off the county road. You can see there are thousands of young trees on this property. This was logged heavily, I believe about 4 or 5 years ago. And so we've got thousands, tens of thousands of young trees growing up. We've got a few medium-sized trees, a handful of larger trees. Most of the area of this property was logged pretty heavily. There are a few spots that weren't for whatever reason, but most of it was logged pretty heavily. We've got some good growth already, though. It's the first 4 or 5 years when things kind of look the worst. And then once these thousands of young trees take hold, it really starts to pretty things up a little bit. I'm going to walk north onto the property. You'll still see some of the tops and stuff, like this right here, top or a limb from a tree that the loggers left. They've already started to rot down, which is great. A few more years and they'll just be a mulch for the soil, basically. So generally when we get a property that needs a little cleanup, well, there's been a deer through here really recently. It's kind of a gross camera shot. Deer scat. But usually if we get a property that needs some cleanup, we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll maybe create a building site. And then obviously that has to be reflected in the price. What we decided to do out here at Elk Ridge was leave things just as they are and price them as low as humanly possible. And that'll give everybody a chance to kind of get in on the ground floor on a property, and you can do your own site. It's actually not that hard. I'd like to pretend it's really difficult to make a site and that we're all geniuses here at Instant Acres, but actually a lot of it's just common sense. You pick an area that's reasonably level or has a little slope to it if you want that, and you go in and you clear out the smaller and medium-sized trees and create enough room that you can pull in with a vehicle and turn around and camp or build or whatnot. Obviously, the further away you are from the road, the more private it is. So we like to do sites that are at least 100 or 200 feet off the road for privacy. This is so thick I can't even walk through it here. Look at all these thousands of young oak trees. Now this is just a gentle slope here. As we keep going, it'll get a little steeper. It goes down to a bottom and then rises back up again into another ridge. And I don't have the topo map with me, but I think it does that 1 or 2 more times. So this is pretty typical good Ozark country, where a lot of up and down to it, ridges and hollows. This probably does have at least a seasonal creek on it. I know it does because I saw it the other day. It was running. May have some springs. We haven't explored it. It's a large property, so that there's going to be a lot of surprises, and it will take someone days to properly explore this property. Now at Elk Ridge, there's an existing trail system that's been here for decades. Those are not public use trails. They are just for the property owners. So the existing trail system that's here at Elk Ridge, you can see it on the maps if you look at the listings. That's for the use of property owners and their guests. Any existing trails can be used to access the property of the property owners or their guests. So if you put in your own driveway or your own trails, that's separate. That'll be just for your use. But any existing trails can be used on foot, with the motorized vehicle, what have you, to access different parts of the property. And on all these properties, that's a good thing. This one, you can take the existing trail system down to the middle. There's a trail that goes up toward the north end. So without the use of those existing trails, if you wanted to access, say, the north end of your property on foot, you'd be putting in a fairly expensive trail system, quite a distance to get to the north end of your property. But with these existing trails, you can do a four-wheeler or a side-by-side. And they're very primitive trails. They are not made never for a car, and generally not even for a pickup truck, because there are some washouts, there are some bad spots. They are minimum maintenance trails. So probably when things get awful, try to get a dozer out here to fill in the really rough spots. But even that's these are all being sold as minimum maintenance trails. So if nothing else, you can access them on foot. I went all over here on a four-wheeler the other day, and there are miles of trails, existing trails through here, and there were a couple spots where I really had to, the four-wheeler couldn't go through it. I had to go, get 5 or 10 feet off the trail and go around it. Um, I'd like to see more, but this is so thick. I might, I tend to get lost on our own properties, so that's a concern for me. Really pretty bad. My internal compass is completely broken. So that's the property. That's Tract 4 at Elk Ridge. Large, large property. Good county road frontage. Great access to the south end of the property. And then you've got the trail system, if you want to use that to get to the middle and toward the north end as well. Great location, amazing hunting out here. We're by Eminence, Missouri. We're just 5 miles out of Eminence. If you Google that, or if you're already familiar with it, famous for trail rides, for the Jacks Fork River, fishing, floating, championship bass in the Jacks Fork River. And we're right near where the Missouri Department of Conservation released the first Missouri elk population, so that's starting to grow. That's a few miles east of here. Really solid property, priced as low as we possibly can. Probably one of our lowest priced pieces of large acreage, if not our lowest price that we've ever had in Missouri, so we're pretty proud of that. That wind is really getting crazy. I'm going to shut it down. I guess I've blathered on for almost 12 minutes, but that's the property at Elk Ridge with direct frontage on Shannon County 414.